Yo, what's going on YouTube? This your boy Camera Zero Spike back again once again. And today we're here for Avataro Sentai DonBrothers episode 2. And this episode was also kind of a fever dream, but we got introduced to the Black Ranger in this episode, Ino Brother. So this episode turns out Ino Brother is actually like a wanted fugitive. It's weird. And also the monster of the week in this episode is a train monster, is a Tokyujin based monster, and I knew it as soon as I saw some train action going. I knew it had to be that. And we also get introduced to a new bad guy, one of the out of the 3 bad guys we're gonna see. We're gonna meet a new one in this episode as well. He's like brownish orangish, and he has like an umbrella that turns into a spear. Pretty cool guy, and he looks dope. And we see that he's also like partnered up with the other dude, the blue dude, and we see that they do each other and stuff like that. But also, I wonder what these bad guys are trying to do here, because they destroy the monsters, but they also can create the monsters as well, which is weird. So do we have like 3 factions here going on, like the monsters, and but also the grunts seem to also work for them as well, but the grunts don't destroy the monsters either. So what's going on with that? But also we see Kaito in this episode, and he's very, very like quiet and like just he seems like very, 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 very mature, and he's quiet, stuff like that. And we see that Yellow, she's actually working for him in his cafe or whatever. And that's when also we get introduced to Blue in this episode as well. We don't know it's him yet, but we also get introduced to him in this episode as well. And we seem like he's a poet, and he also seems like he's very just calm and cool and stuff like that. Same thing with the Black Ranger. But also we see that he orders like a coffee, and he basically says that he basically flat out tells her, I don't have any money, but I'll pay for my coffee with a poem. And then Kaito's like, okay, go ahead. And he says this poem, and he actually cries during it. Like, he sheds a tear, and when he sheds the tear, it's really like the wind blows. It's very dramatic. And Kaito's like, that's good. And it's like and then after that he leaves, and it's just very weird, but it's also like funny at the same time. But we see that while she's working here, she's trying to cover up her face and stuff like that, so nobody recognizes her. She's got like this little part-time job and whatever. And we also see Pink. We got some backstory on Pink after Taro ended up basically like delivering a package to him and helping him relocate his dislocated arm. And we actually see some backstory on him. He's like, he calls himself an average guy. He's a guy where he work, kind of work, has like a corporate job, and he's married though. Like, he's married and everything's like that, but we saw that he was having like a lot of bad fortune going on with him. We see how he ended up dislocating his arm. He fell down some stairs. We see that he doesn't really like his work environment, and his boss is like a douchebag. So yeah, that corporate life thing that's what he has going on. And also that we see that one night is very quick, but one night we see that the Dawn Blaster and the stuff appeared in front of him, and that's how he was able to transform. And also we see that he's been married for 3 years, and it's pretty cool. He's, even though he has like he hates his job and stuff, like he's still with the love of his life, and she loves him back, and that's very cool. And they're walking across the street. They end up almost getting hit by Truck Kun, or if you anime fans know that the truck, this infamous truck that has taken many lives. But yeah, they're about to get hit by this truck, and he ends up using the Dawn Blaster, and he ends up transforming and saving her. And when he saves her, she doesn't see, it's just a flash. It's like a flash to her, and she was like, oh hey, maybe God protected us. And he was like, nah. She was like, no, it was the power of love. I was like, yeah, that's one of my catchphrases. But we also see Taro end up going to deliver a package to the Black Ranger, basically, and when he gets ready to give it to him, we see the cops basically intercept him, and then he runs away from the cops, and we see that Taro's like, can't form a bond with that guy. So then we also see that Taro ends up going back to his job, being a delivery guy, stuff like that, and their boss she's there, and they, you see he also has like a good work environment. You see that he's friends with all his co-workers and stuff. They eat together, they play rock paper scissors together, they're all sitting together eating and stuff. And then we see that Taro can't tell a lie. Like the other guy basically said that he can never tell a lie. So they basically do a thing with you, like guessing their boss's age. She's an older woman, guessing her age and stuff like that. And she's also very insecure about her age. So that's what ends up enabling her to basically end up becoming a monster, basically this Tokujin train monster. So all the guys basically say age that she thinks she is very young ages, and then Taro just like, you look 68, and she's actually 68. So she gets kind of, she feels bad about it, stuff like that. We saw the monster start ending up affecting her, and it ends up making her younger. And yeah, it ends up making her younger. And while that's happening, we see Yellow ends up getting a message from the guy that told her about Amoitaro. He basically says that, he's gonna appear here at 3 o'clock, and you have to find him and basically bow to him and all that stuff he told her before. So she ends up going to this place. So then we see that the monster has started affecting her, and she sees the woman is also there, Taro's there, stuff like he's getting ready to deliver some stuff, and she's she looks younger and everything. She looks younger, and then she goes and talks to everybody again, and no one believes it's her. Everybody's like, you gotta be her daughter or something like that. So she asks Taro again, how old do I look? And he still said 68. So she ends up leaving the workplace, and ends it up she's pissed off, but she's like, you see the greed start to affect her, that Kamen Rider stuff, that greed stuff starts to affect her again, and basically she ends up getting even younger. And then Taro's there getting ready to deliver some stuff, and he still goes 68. And that's when she starts to he leaves, and that's when she starts to basically spaz out, and she starts shooting like these train tracks out at people, basically absorbing people and getting younger. We see that Yellow ends up seeing this, and she's like, she keeps going eventually till she ends up transforming into a monster. And then Yellow's like, I have to run away, but I also have to fight, because now I can fight. So she ends up transforming and basically trying to fight her off, trying to calm her down, trying to make her realize that she's human. You have to turn back. And that's when the blue guy, he ends up coming up as well. And yeah, so she ends up trying to stop him from destroying her. And that's also when the other dude, the brown orange guy, he comes up, and yeah, she ends up running to him because she thinks he's a Moitaro. And she comes up and he goes up to her, she goes up to him, tries to talk to him, and he pushes her out of the way the same way other blue guy did. He asks the blue guy, what should I do with her? He basically is like, oh, do with her what you please. And he gets ready to basically take her out. And that's when Pink comes in. He also helps her out. And then also that's when the Black Ranger also comes in, Eno brother, and she looks at him and says, you're a dog? And he's like, hey, this isn't by choice, sister. And that's when they ends up using both him and Pink, in Black and Pink end up using they end up using some gears, and these gears transform them into Black and Pink Ryu Soldier. And yeah, they end up seeing that. We also see that Pink, he transforms into like a girl. He ends up transforming into like the girl suit of the Ryu Soldier. And they're so fighting off these they're going off and fighting off all of these all of the grunts, and also the other two dudes. And that's when that boy Taro comes in, and as he starts helping them out. Once he starts helping them, we see that Pink, Black and Pink are already like, they know what's going on, so they have like cooperation with each other. We see that Taro is a very, very skilled fighter, because he's fighting the train monster and the other two dudes single-handedly, and he's basically freaking winning. And he does a thing where he has a form where he transforms into like a little robot, and when he's in this little robot form, it's a very tiny form, about as big as like how Ricky and Katana were. He transforms into this, and while he's in this form, his body passes out. So it's kind of like a W thing. But yeah, his body passes out, and he's actually fighting these guys in a very wacky way. He's jumping in doors and stuff like that with these guys, and he's basically like fighting them off, and then he turns back into his regular self, and then that's when these guys are like, oh, they end up piecing out. They end up stepping on these little platforms inside of the world that they're in, and they end up flashing off. And that's when we see Avataro. He comes in and he ends up defeating, well, all of them ended up defeating the train monster in a kind of a really cool way. They jump on top, they basically like summon like these things, and they use these like big wheels, and Tato jumps on top of like this tower thing, and he comes down and slashes them a bunch of times. It's very dynamic and very, very well done. It looks so super cool. After that, we see that our train monster ends up transforming into a giant. Basically, this is a very, very unique fight, because she actually transforms into like this big demon train thing, and that's when we see Avataro. He transforms into Don Zenkaio, and yeah, I got it. He transforms to Don Zenkaio as he starts taking her on, and yeah, this is a very, very awesome fight, because the way it's shot, it's all CG, but it looks pretty good, and the way it's all shot, like the dynamics of it, is very good. And he ends up taking her out in again in a really cool way. He ends up taking her out, and that's when everybody kind of pieces out. Everybody kind of like, you know, disappears away. But then, you know, we have Pink, and Pink, he got his powers the same way, kind of like, guessing how everybody else did. I wouldn't know about his Tato yet, but the same way everybody else kind of did. And that's what his, you know, he had like I guess he works on like he had a corporate job, but you know, his bike he had like a bunch of misfortunes happening to him. His bike got stolen, stuff like that. You know, he's having bad days at work, stuff like that, but he has his wife, and that's all that matters. But this is a very wacky episode. I wonder what's going on with the Black Ranger. I don't know if this guy's like a wanted fugitive, because we see these cops after him. I don't know what's going on with that. We also saw that Tato was like, I can't make a bond with him, because, you know, I kind of understand that, because he's like a criminal, I guess. But yeah, this is a very funny episode. I don't know what's gonna happen after, like, but are we gonna get introduced to we should get introduced to Blue in the next episode. We're gonna get introduced to Blue again, but you know, in his like actual Ranger form. And I'm really hoping, like, when are we all gonna get together and have this team conversation, you know, to get to the nitty-gritty of what's actually happening right now. And also, when are we gonna get introduced to the third bad guy? Because the third bad guy is a woman, very beautiful. So I wonder when we're gonna get introduced to her. Most likely next episode, or maybe the end of next episode, I'm guessing. But yeah, this is a great episode, guys. This show still is very, very wacky and just everywhere, but at the same time, it's still good. I'm thoroughly enjoying DonBrothers right now. And yeah, but other than that, guys, you guys let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about this episode of what you guys think of this episode of DonBrothers episode 2. I'm gonna see you guys next time. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys next time. Remember, stay Kenshined.